Hi, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. This video is sponsored by BetterHelp. This last year and a half together has really opened my eyes to so many things, and in some cases really changed my opinion and my thinking. One area of that is counseling. My older videos, I definitely expressed dislike and distrust for counseling, and looking back on that, I really think personally, I was at a point of complete saturation as far as humiliation goes. The 5 years I spent with Trevor was probably the most humiliating time of my life. And the idea of attending counseling at the mental health facility and having to report to the mental health facility really felt like more humiliation to me. I've since changed my mind about counseling, and I want to talk about that today. Now, a year and a half later, through exploration and understanding and the communication we've all shared with each other, I most certainly have a better understanding of the abuse I was exposed to, the torture I was literally put through, and the fact that we've all stood in the same shoes. This is not garden variety of abuse, not on any level. This is extreme abuse. All-encompassing, all-consuming abuse that has affected every single aspect of our lives. So healing is slow and challenging, and that's the truth for so many of us. Maybe you know someone who's verbally abusive or someone who's financially abusive. That's not what we've experienced. Single-handedly, the narcs in our life covered the full spectrum of abuse, from verbal abuse to financial abuse to physical abuse, in many cases sexual abuse. The deviancy is just mind-blowing. Psychological abuse, spiritual abuse, emotional abuse, just absolute attacks on a person's entire life. The abuse is all-consuming. It covers the full spectrum of abuse. I know personally I was in financial ruins. I was absolutely scared to death of everybody. I couldn't stand being outside of my home. The idea that I would have to get up, get dressed, go out and report to a mental health facility was just absolutely mind-blowing to me. There was no way I could have executed something like that. So therapeutic counseling with a professional was absolutely out of the question for me. I think the abuse could really be considered quite epic, very sensational. I mean, really something very, very difficult to understand. It is extraordinary. Therefore, I believe the recovery and healing from this type of abuse is in itself quite an extraordinary feat. So many of us have been pushed well beyond what would be considered an acceptable pain threshold. You know, that give and take in relationships. I think we all expect that, but what we've been exposed to just breaks right through all barriers of any acceptable pain threshold. I think in beautiful collectives like what we all share here, it gives us an opportunity to support each other, validate each other. Even when someone's having a difficult time, in the comment section expressing what they were feeling or what had happened to them, you'll see 20 friends here at the channel jump in and say, "It's okay, I get it, I know, I was there." Meanwhile, this person has not even fully express the pain they were suffering, and people just get it. Like, we're all intuitively connected and we all really understand what each other's been through. But with that said, it certainly helps with support, with understanding, with compassion, with validation. And when you look out at the collective and you see the devastation, the destruction, the demise of so many beautiful human lives, when you see the suffering, honestly, it makes me wonder if that's enough. And do we possibly need counseling? The injury is so deeply rooted. It's at the core of who and what so many of us believed ourselves to be. It's altered the way we think. It's altered the way we perceive ourselves. It's really caused me to absolutely question my own thought processes, to stand in defiance of what I would otherwise believe to be logical or reasonable. It's absolutely all-consuming. I personally felt like counseling wasn't going to be a good idea for me. I guess I was concerned about finding a good match as far as a counselor goes. I was very concerned that the counselor might try to inject some of that new age philosophy like codependency, like, sure, I'm just wandering the streets looking for somebody to abuse me. I was, of course, concerned about the price, because when you go into a counselor's office, they have a sliding pay scale, that starts at about $75 an hour and goes up to $250 per hour. Here in Canada, mental health facilities are often attached to drug and alcohol centers. They tend to operate as one sort of facility. And I will tell you, I felt like attending those types of facilities would be humiliating for me. Then, quite unexpectedly, I become familiar with a company called BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online counseling service. Now, a client, you, me, for example, can go to their website, and I will put the link in the description below. You fill out a brief, generic sort of questionnaire, and then at the end of that survey, there's a box that you can type in. You can very specifically request a counselor that specializes in Christian beliefs, that is really familiar with gay relationships, or any number of things. You can really customize your request for a counselor. As this service is available worldwide, you can request a counselor that speaks a specific language. There are over 2,000 counselors to choose from, and all hold medical degrees specializing in mental health. These aren't people that did online courses. All of their counselors must hold medical degrees. BetterHelp has helped over 600,000 people, which tells me two things. One, they're good at what they do. And two, holy cow, there's a lot of people that need help out there. The sign-up process was fast and easy, and you can cancel your subscription with them at any time. You don't pay by the hour. In fact, you pay by the week. Programs start at $35 a week, and that gives you unlimited access to your counselor once one is assigned to you. Now, if for any reason you're just not jiving with your counselor, well, heck, you just request another one. BetterHelp also offers all sorts of financial options and assistance with payments. There are many ways you can communicate with your counselor, everything from one-on-one, online, face-to-face counseling, on the phone, through text messaging, and instead of being charged by the hour, you're charged by the week. Beginner packages start at $35 a week for unlimited access to your counselor. I know many of you are living with self-imposed isolation as I am, and I also live in a very remote community. The idea of being able to access professional counselors with medical degrees from the comfort of my own home was very intriguing to me. If you're still with the narc, you may need help coping, but if you've left the narc and still find yourself really wallowing in misery, this might be the ideal Christmas gift for yourself to help get you free from that. I certainly don't get out much, to be honest. I prefer to stay at home, and I know many of you do as well. I thought something like this could work for me, and if you feel like something like this could work for you, just hit the link, no obligation, check it out and see what you think. I'm Kim, you're watching Kim Wilson TV. I hope you guys are having a great narc-free day.